Hello Pisces and welcome to your September 2023 reading. So I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about. The first card that came out is the Three of Swords, and it came out on the side, so I'm going to leave it on the side. For me, when it's not an obvious position, for some of you, it's upright. For some of you, you've already started to remove these swords from your heart. It's in the balance right now. The second card is the Sun. So wherever position it is in the beginning of the month, having the Sun during the month will put a lot of clarity on those swords so that you can really release them. Third card, another side card, the Magician, and we have Justice. That's probably what, these are like three major arcana. So for you, my beautiful Pisces, it's going to be quite a big shift this month. Justice being in reverse, this is when we have in this inner belief that the world is unfair, that the outcomes will be not balanced, because that's the experience we've had until now. So when we hear about the justice of this universe, we might have a little like, yeah, right, kind of thing. This is what is going to be addressed at this point, because you had a lot of disappointments about that, especially when it came to you manifesting, trying to create your life, to be in your power. And if we in our life, justice is in reverse, then at one point there's kind of a defeatist feeling about it. Justice is also is ruled by Venus, and Venus has been retrograde and probably still is. I haven't checked the dates, but this is all like recessing maybe all of the unfair times in your life. Under our Three of Swords, I have the Emperor, and here I have Five of Wands. Disappointments from conflict. And here the Emperor, which is your masculine ruling side, turning out having disappointments out of that. So Five of Wands can be small, like a misunderstanding. And I say small because, it can go on to be a real feud also. It can be inner conflict, outer conflict. But the resolution of conflict, when we do not have the balance of Venus making things just, the outcome will always be disappointing for us, from either outside authority or our own. Under the Sun, I have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords in reverse. So that clarity that's being projected, the Sun. And when the Sun arrives somewhere, if there's, like something blocking the rays of the Sun, we're going to notice the shadow as much as noticing what is being cleared, obvious now at that point. So here, having the Ten of Swords in reverse, we are releasing all of the lies that betrayed us, that prevented the ointment of our pineal gland and hypothalamus there to flow down our spine all the way to the roots and back. What prevents that are certain treacherous beliefs that we have. But here, you're noticing the price you've paid. You're understanding here with his fingers, that guy, even if he's on the floor, is making as above, so below. For it to work, it's not as above, so below outside of me. It's as above, so below inside of me. And then I accomplish it. So when it comes to accomplishing, if I have disappointments about the outcome not being balanced with what I put in, I'll always be conflicted in how I'm doing things. So here you're realizing the price of these beliefs. That is what is going to make the wheel of fortune turn for you. Under that, I have, and that is very good, we have a bit of Two of Pentacles. So this month, even though the clarity is on it, you'll maybe still hang on to the old truth that brought you anxiety, the old truth of lack, the old truth of abandonment, of not being enough, of having to sacrifice yourself or be sacrificed for the sake of ... Everything that has to do with the Five of Pentacles. And so we're releasing that, still a bit juggling. So that means we're still holding these two concepts of reality at the same time, even though the Wheel of Fortune is trying to push us to re-empower our masculine. Our masculine is how we are actually manifesting out there. The feminine is the receptive of the logos, of the inspiration, of the insight, attracting, law of attraction, and so on. And our masculine is how we act out there. Here, there's going to be a change in there. So if you notice, justice is a feminine. It's not for artistic reasons. It's because it's ruled by Venus. And it's all about allowing. When things are unfair, a lot of the times, individually in a relationship, somewhere we accepted it, we allowed it. If not, we would have fought it. Our emperor would have said, no, my empress is not accepting this. This is how the functioning within ourselves. On a society level, that would be désobéissance sociale, social disobeying, socially disobeying, choosing one's moral compass over law. So, because Venus, planet of unconditional love and abundance and that nurturing flow, would say, and connecting yourself to your higher self there would say, something is not right there. Under that, we have the Tower in reverse and the High Priestess. And there's your connection to the logos. So, having those two here with justice and the Magician, the end of the month for you, my beautiful Pisces, will be a big shake-up in order to realign yourself with your, it's a spiritual archetype of your higher self, the one that rules over the moon, the one that is connected with, that has the word of the divine within herself, that is in between the two towers here, and probably so that you stop either being defeated by your old disappointments, preventing your masculine to be fully in action in what he wants to manifest. All right, so let's clarify this. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Pisces for the month of September 2023. So this is kind of rising above your experiences and the conclusions that your ego drew from it. So that would be more like disobeying your programming. When you noticed how the programming prevented you from being in your power of manifestation, then you can disobey until you reconnect with your truth. All right. Let's look at your Three of Swords on the side here. A Three of Swords, swords are beliefs, thoughts, and things like that. But once they're planted in the heart, they really become beliefs. And so every time we want to expand our heart, you know, and that this is very important in our Taurus field, then it's going to hurt and set us back. It's going to put gray clouds over things that should have the sun in. So let's look at your Three of Swords. Three of Swords for Pisces. Okay. Okay, so we have, and here is your water, we have the Four of Cups and the Six of Cups in reverse. So we do not have our beautiful heart chakra exchanging purely and receiving unconditionally here, like the Six of Cups. And the revisiting of Venus can go all the way back to your childhood with this, resurfacing all of the old heartaches and disappointments. And the problem here, and that's probably why you need a tower at one point, the problem is that this is what you focus on being what you've experienced. And even if the universe wants to bring you that other cup, you're not seeing it. So if you don't see it, your Emperor cannot grab it. Let's look at that Emperor. See, there's an information missing here. Emperor. Let's look at your masculine. And our masculine really embodies our, you know, it's the Four Kings, our capacity to go for our ambitions, to honor how we feel, to create security, being able to engage ourselves. King of Cups, and being in our authentic truth, King of Swords, speaking our truth. Let's look at the Emperor. You master, there it is, you master your four elements, you master your life. Okay, so the one on top is the Ace of Cups. So there's an Ace of Cups here to kind of refill the water so that the swords are not the only memory in your cells here. Swords and sadness. And it's time to release them, not hold on to them because this is what I know and this is what it is. And if I hold on to my old pains, maybe what is to come will be less painful because I will have a reference to it. But we know that that doesn't work that way. So here, having to release it, that big spur of energy could be, because we're going to have like the full moon in Aries. So it could be that kind of Leo season that we've had. And then we were entering, of course, into Virgo, but the Leo season brought you energy at the beginning of the month here. And riding on this, at the end of the month, you will have the full moon in Aries. So really looking at how you bring your energy, how you bring your energy. So what was all over the place Here, 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. This is you. Ah, it might be released. And here, there you are in reverse. And as I was saying, your Emperor is the 4 Kings. And the King of Cup, that's the part of you that has the emotional intelligence to own up to how you feel. To not have your emotions be all over the place because of swords, because of ideas, words, you know, the news, whatever it is, beliefs. Your cup of how much you are sovereign, of how you feel, of your self-love, of honoring how you feel, that kind of groundness of your emotional worth. Here, having the Hangman upright, well, he's reversed, but that puts him upright. That means that there's an understanding here. All of this, what I've been talking about, kind of became clear to you. And you probably understand what you have to sacrifice. And what you have to sacrifice, which is this, so that you can get out of your emotional prison, so that you can experience something else that will not be unfair. Yeah, because that's what was hidden in your moon, and that is very clear now. Because if you want to build, if your Emperor wants to start creating, see these 3 masculine aspects, they're actually working the matrix, the pentacle. And so for this to be clear, this is what I want to build. This is my ambition. This is what I want to manifest. It cannot have the already preconceived idea that it's going to be unfair, that it's going to be a source of sorrow, disappointments, and so on, even if it's unconscious. Let's look at that 10 of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune. So by releasing that lie inside of you, even if it's based on experience, if it's not the truth of the universe, but the truth of your personal reality, you're stuck in it. So by releasing it, that gives you access to another one, Wheel of Fortune, bringing you to a new set of conditions. Wheel of Fortune. There it is. So that conflict, whoops, is in reverse. Queen of Swords, I'm starting to perceive now. 6 of Swords. I'm turning the page on that 3 of Swords. And now all of a sudden, there's the new path in front of me. 2 of Wands. A path where things are not in the 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, and so on. But maybe you might be juggling a bit. It's like, when we believe something about ourselves because we've been told so often and for so long that we finish by believing it. And then even if we get the proof in front of us that that's not the case, the thing I believed for 20 years, 30 years, this new truth, my ego that's not comfortable with the new truth will want to go back into the uncomfortable comfort zone. Because it's safer illusion. It's an illusion that it is safer than the unknown out there, where I would be completely sovereign in a new reality that I am creating. But see, I stopped on my justice in reverse. That has to clear. You're going to be juggling as long as you believe that justice, that balance of the universe is crooked. It is crooked when Venus is not exalted. Let's look at that. Okay. Moon. This was all in the moon. And what makes you juggle is this. You need that cup. You need to grab that Ace of Cup. The moment you love yourself more, the moment you have more water inside of you, that's when Venus will be able to vibrate inside of you. That's when here your elements will be restored. Let's look at that Magician and Justice. Yeah, because if not, you're going to continue to sabotage yourself. And you won't be able to invest yourself. This is your combat. So at the end of the month here, either because of the full moon in Aries, which is your I am, okay, rules the first house of I am, there's going to be a shakedown. Let's look at that Tower. Bring you kind of a lightning here. Tower. Tower. Oh, it's going to force you to do your 10 of Swords. So that means that you're going to see the deceptiveness that you buy, the procrastination, the self-sabotage, and you're going to be so conscious of the price of it that's going to mark the end of that period. High Priestess. So, Ace of Wands, King of Wands, the full moon in Aries, I wouldn't be surprised, is going to give you a brand new fire strong enough to pass over the procrastination, the Seven of Swords and things like that. But here the High Priestess was in reverse because you still have, and it, you know, we're in Virgo season, and that's our King of Pentacle, okay? We want this, not this. And your High Priestess can do that for you. So your intuition, your soul, the access of that cosmic intelligence here is going to tell you that you are enough. Getting rid of that crap. You are enough. That things can be balanced if your worth is up to the plate. You're going to find the solutions. See how he's got an armor under his robe? Exactly like the Emperor. Because he's going to fight for his worth. He's not on the defensive, but you see the armor. You see that the guy went to war at one point, and if he needs to, he's going to defend his worth and his value. And this has to become like obvious for you. He is ruled by Venus again. So we have a thing with Venus here, Pisces. And we want this guy to be under. Because him, the only way he can have power over you, if you enslave yourself to the half-truth he's standing on. And that you believe that all you see is all there is. There's nothing more than what you've experienced and what you can see concretely here. Discarding completely your magic aspect, your connection to ether, to cosmic intelligence, and that everything that is created here has to pass through you. There's nothing more empowering than the magician, because he's not, crossing his fingers and hoping that stronger aspects will be inclined to be nice this time and fair this time. He makes his fairness by what he accepts and what he doesn't accept. And that's how you cannot be under his rule when you're the magician. But you rule his kingdom, Pentacle Kingdom, which is Malkut here. There it is. Sorry, it's in reverse. So for me, when I look at this here, Malkut here. This is ruled by Saturn and Earth. So Saturn. So it's the process of a liberation for you, Pisces, this month. And I'm gonna call it that. Process of liberation. You're gonna free yourself of one step. At the end of the month, though, you'll have the opportunity to get rid of the rest and to take your power. Or maybe I'm going to call this take your power, because this is something that's going to have to be in your head this month. It's going to help you take your power. All right? So on this, my beautiful Pisces, thank you for watching, sharing, commenting. Please subscribe to help grow the channel. If you want a private reading, then below there's a website. You go on it, services, schedule, very user-friendly. And also, thank you for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. And of course, new moon, full moon. And this month, I think we have 2 on top of it, beginning, end, and the middle. So I ask the universe to give you back. On these times, make yourself available to receive. So on that, all my love, and I'll see you next month.